For all of your screen needs, call Christian Metal Screens.
Starting Monday, First at 4 moves to News 12. All the news that's important to you, all on one channel. First at 4, coming Monday to News 12. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, First at 5.
So it came to me.
Emotional testimony from George Floyd's girlfriend today. It could play a significant role in the trial of the former Minneapolis police officer, Derek Chauvin. But first, this week, we've been filling you in about the money coming to our area from the American Rescue Plan. The city of Augusta and Richmond County set to receive $84 million, but the Richmond County school system is getting even more. Our Celeste Springer joins us now in the studio with what they're planning on doing with the extra money. Celeste?
Yeah, according to the Department of Education, the Richmond County School District will get nearly $117 million. Columbia County Schools will get about $20 million. Our districts are still in the planning phases for right now, but the type of impact these millions of dollars could have is undeniable. This money is way more than what our schools received in the previous two stimulus packages. For example, Superintendent Dr. Sandra Caraway says Columbia County got about $11 million in the last two packages combined. They say their biggest goal is to use the money to help make up for some of the learning lost throughout the year. In fact, all schools are required to use at least 20% of the money on remediation. Dr. Caraway says some of the money might also go towards technology and likely replacing some old laptops. They say the money could also mean some new job postings in the future.
We will hire additional personnel so that we can provide small group instruction and individual remediation for students who we know have lost ground due to the pandemic.
Coming up at News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from Richmond and Aiken counties about their own plans. We'll also break down why Richmond County schools are receiving more than 5 times more money than Columbia County.
It's a lot of money. All right, thanks for that update, Celeste. Taking a look outside, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. You're looking at some wind speeds behind you. It's been kind of an interesting day.
Very much so, Meredith. We've seen abundant sunshine. It's been nice, but as soon as you step outside, you see these winds. They're between 15 to 20 miles an hour this afternoon. A very gusty day, and we're expecting breezy conditions to stick around tonight and tomorrow. Our temperatures this afternoon, well below normal for the first day of April. Many of us have stayed in the upper 50s to low 60s, and this evening is going to be on the chilly side as well. Now, dry weather's in the forecast at least for the next 5 days, so nothing really major weather-wise to talk about except the potential for some freezing temperatures late tonight into early Friday, and then most likely again Saturday morning. We do have freeze warnings in effect across most of the area. Take a look at those low temperatures the next few days coming up in your First Alert forecast.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. A 77-year-old woman is hurt after a Richmond County shooting this morning. Officials tell us her own son shot her multiple times with a pellet air rifle. They also say that suspect, 47-year-old Billy Slusser, fired at deputies too. Officials responded to a welfare check and a mental evaluation at home on Kingsgate Drive, in the Raintree subdivision off Tobacco Road. Slusser was barricaded in a bedroom, and then he started shooting at deputies through the walls. Officials came into the room. They took him into custody. Both the suspect and the victim were taken to AU Health for treatment. Their injuries are not life-threatening, and thankfully, no deputies were hurt. AU Health says they're expanding their COVID vaccine distribution. They say they're hoping to reach nearly 12,000 people in the 10 days leading up to Masters Week. Now they're asking for community volunteers to help. They're especially looking for qualified clinical volunteers, but they say they need anyone who's able to volunteer. You can find the link to apply on our website and app. Several different civil rights groups and voting rights organizations are suing the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. It's in response to the state's new voting law. In the federal filing, they say the new law is a, quote, hodgepodge of unnecessary restrictions, and it is disproportionately impacting people of color. The NAACP is also suing Raffensperger for intentional discrimination. Raffensperger says that's not the case.
We've expanded early voting. It was 16 days set as a minimum in the state. It's now set as 17. We also allowed the counties that want to do this, they can have 2 additional Sundays of voting, which is 19 days. That's a record. So we've actually expanded access. and people aren't talking about that.
The Secretary of State is expected to be a hotly contested race in the next election cycle. Republican Congressman Jody Hice has announced his intentions to run against Raffensperger and has been endorsed by former President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Georgia faith and community leaders are pledging a national boycott against several companies over the voting law. Part of the Georgia AME Episcopal Church held a news conference today to announce the boycott starting April 7th. It's against Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, and Home Depot. Faith leaders say those companies did not do enough to speak out against the bill. They say this isn't something they want to do, it's something they have to do.
The question is why? The home of these corporations is Georgia. And these corporations did not speak out publicly or take a public position on SB 202 before it passed.
Officials at Delta and Coke this week issued statements about the new election law, calling it unacceptable. Governor Brian Kemp is responding to criticism over the law. In an interview with CNBC, he talked about companies like Coca-Cola and Delta taking aim at the new voting restrictions. In the interview, Governor Kemp said, in part, these business owners don't live here and don't know what our laws are. He goes on to say our laws aren't as restrictive as states where a lot of these businesses are, and that they should focus on their own states. First at 4, George Floyd's girlfriend testifying in court today in the 4th day of trial for former police officer Derek Chauvin. She talked about her relationship with Floyd and their struggles with opioids. As Michael George reports, the defense is working to paint Floyd as a drug abuser.
My name is Courtney.
George Floyd's girlfriend testified about their relationship that began in 2017.
He said, well, can I pray with you? I was so tired. We had been through so much, my sons and I. And this kind person just to come up to me and say, can I pray with you?
She said both of them struggled with opioid abuse.
It's a classic story of how many people get addicted to opioids. We both suffered from chronic pain. Mine was in my neck and his was in his back.
Defense attorney Eric Nelson asked her about Floyd overdosing last March.
You did not know that he had taken heroin at that time?
No.
Floyd's attorney, Ben Crump, released a statement that says, we fully expected the defense to put George's character and struggles with addiction on trial, because that's the go-to tactic when the facts are not on your side. We're confident that the jury will see past that to arrive at the truth. The jury also heard from the paramedics who arrived to treat Floyd.
I showed up, he was deceased, and I dropped him off at the hospital, and he was still in cardiac arrest.
City leaders announced ramped-up security measures heading into this weekend, including Humvees and police vehicles patrolling the city.
Anyone who is looking to harm either people or property in Minneapolis, it will not be tolerated. They will be arrested.
There will also be more National Guard troops patrolling in the city, and since the trial is going a bit faster than expected, tomorrow will be a shortened session. We're learning more details about the mass shooting in California. Police say a 44-year-old suspect, Amin Abdab Gonzalez, knew the 4 victims he killed, including a 4-year-old boy. All of this morning, both Gonzalez and a female victim are in the hospital and in critical condition. This is where it happened. It was an office complex in Orange County. Officials believe the motive might be connected to that business. Gonzalez could face the death penalty. 2 Capitol police officers are suing former President Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The officers have both been on the force for more than a decade. They're each seeking at least $70,000 in damages. They cite, quote, physical and emotional injuries they suffered during that attack. The former president hasn't responded yet to the lawsuit. Golden Harvest and Wheels Up partnering to serve the community and give out meals today. The 2 organizations serve guests at the Master's Table Soup Kitchen. Wheels Up is an aviation company. They created a grant to give 100,000 meals. They brought out volunteers to help serve the food, too. It's all part of their mission to give back.
This is our home and this is our community, and the opportunity right now to be able to give back when they've given us so much over the course of the year, their homes, their businesses, their gracious hospitality. And so for us, this is really meaningful to be able to come and help out the community.
Wheels Up also helped to give out food at a mobile market in Aiken today. That giant ship, you know, the one that wedged itself across the Suez Canal, it may no longer be stuck, but that does not mean it's free. What's holding it back and how you could feel the effects when we get back. Riley?
Well, temperatures this afternoon are about 20 to 25 degrees cooler than where they were this time yesterday. We do have some freeze warnings in effect tonight. Much more coming up in that First Alert forecast.
It's the most deadly cancer for men and women in the two states.
My own dad died of lung cancer.
And the I-Team found our local survival rates are all below average. New changes coming to screenings that could save your life. Tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
This 702. More than 17% of all South Carolinians are now fully vaccinated. That is according to the Department of Health and Environmental Control. And almost a third of the state has gotten at least one dose of the vaccine. But what can you do and what can't you do once you've gotten both shots or had your one Johnson & Johnson shot? Our Adam Mintzner asked people who had just gotten their second dose what questions they still have and then got them some answers. He joins us now live from Columbia with more. Okay, Adam, a lot of us are curious here. What did you learn?
Meredith, I learned a lot today, and when I asked people what they wanted to know, so many of the questions centered around family gatherings, especially this time of year with the spring holidays, Easter coming up, Passover in the middle, and we have Ramadan in just a few days. So people want to get together, but still, even though so many people are getting vaccinated, they know, and it's important to always remember that 2 weeks after your second dose of the Pfizer Moderna shot, that's when you're considered fully vaccinated. Also 2 weeks after that Johnson & Johnson shot. But with that knowledge, there's still some questions and some gray area that people wanted specifics on. So, took those questions, brought them straight to the expert.
Now that I'm fully vaccinated, what can be my interaction with people that are not vaccinated?
Refer to the CDC guidelines on that. Inside with fully vaccinated people is good. Outside is much safer. It's an open area. Unvaccinated people inside, they need to be low risk.
I'm just curious what percent of protection that I have now, and then what percent of protection I will have in the future.
There's studies that indicate that after your first dose, you have a decent amount of protection, probably 80% or so. You're not fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after that second dose.
And now that I'm vaccinated, how worried should I be about the variants?
The data that we have right now on variants is that the vaccines that we have are effective against the variants. So as far as the variants we know about, I feel comfortable saying, as a fully vaccinated person, I'm protected well against those variants that are out there.
And so the doctor says when it comes to those variants, it's really important to realize that when he says he feels protected, that means that the risk is pretty low of somebody who's fully vaccinated, even if they do need a variant, to end up with a severe illness in hospitals or to die as a result of the virus. The doctor also adds, once you're fully protected, you need to kind of switch your brain a little bit. Worry less about yourself and more about those high-risk people around you, people that can be really, really sick if they contract COVID-19, because we still don't know if fully vaccinated people can actually transfer the virus. So still wash your hands, still wear that mask, and of course keep your social distance. Reporting live from the Department of Health and Environmental Control, Adam Mintzner on your side.
Thanks for that, Adam. So much left for us to learn. As a reminder, everyone aged 16 and older in South Carolina and in Georgia are now able to get the vaccine. DHEC says their new message to everyone is, quote, don't wait, vaccinate. Turning now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale, taking a look outside. Pretty cold weather this morning. I know a lot of kids, when they went to the bus stop, were pretty chilly.
Definitely so, Meredith. It was not April Fools out there with that cold temperature definitely showing up, and we're expecting even colder temperatures the next couple of days. Freeze warnings in effect, waking up early Friday and Saturday morning as well. Saturday will likely be the coldest of the two mornings, where many of us will likely be waking up into the upper 20s right around sunrise. Past Saturday, Sunday still expect to be chilly, mid-30s, but not expecting freezing temps then, and then we'll just gradually increase those temperatures heading into next week. So everywhere shaded in purple, that means you are currently underneath a freeze warning tonight into early Friday morning. The only counties that did dodge the freeze warning tonight is Johnson and Emmanuel County. They're still expecting cold temperatures, just likely will stay a degree or two above freezing tonight. But everywhere highlighted in red, this is a first alert for you just for anticipation of those freezing temperatures early tomorrow morning. So if you have any sensitive outdoor plants, make sure you bring them inside, make sure they're protected, because these temperatures tonight and again Friday night to Saturday morning will be cold enough to hurt them. So just want to make sure they are protected. Now, low temperatures tonight. If you live north of I-20, you're definitely expected to hit upper 20s, low 30s. The further south you go from Augusta, that's where we'll likely be on the fringe, likely get close to freezing. But the one thing that could keep us a little bit above freezing tonight is those winds. Those are expected to stay pretty breezy tonight. And that's actually why Saturday morning is looking like a much more likely time to where we will see those freezing temperatures, because winds look much calmer Friday night into Saturday morning. And we have the potential to actually see potentially mid-20s in some of our northern counties. For us here in Augusta, we're expecting to stay most likely upper 20s, low 30s, again heading into Saturday morning. Now, these low temperatures the next couple of days, they're close to record lows, but not quite there. I think we should stay just a degree or two warmer than these record lows, at least through Saturday. And then by Sunday, mid-30s, that will be a good stretch away from that record. But we're getting that time of year. A lot of people want to plant. They want to get those things in the ground so they can get going. I would hold out past Sunday morning. Once you get past Sunday morning, you're looking good to go. Those temperatures early Sunday just look to be within that range, mid-30s, to where we could see some patchy frost. So ideally, if you can wait till Sunday afternoon, that is the better time frame to do it. But other than that, just very nice weather the next several days, all the way into next week. We're expecting abundant sunshine at least through Wednesday. Those temperatures do look a little bit warmer past your Easter weekend, and no rain in the forecast till next Thursday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Riley. More things are going digital, and that even applies to art. We've shown you digital art, but when we come back, we're showing you what it takes to buy some.
This ends 24/7.
You've probably heard of a digital piece of art selling for more than $69 million, but not all of this artwork is so expensive. Jamie Tucker tried to buy some to show us how, but as you'll see, didn't exactly go smoothly.
I was told it wouldn't be easy buying an NFT.
This is still very, very new technology, so there is a learning curve.
A very long learning curve. It's a world filled with terms like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Wrapped Ethereum, gas fees, MetaMask. There are several artwork marketplaces online. OpenSea and Rarible are the two I was told to try. All kinds of work, photographs, paintings, memes, GIFs. Some for sale, most for auction. And you can't use a credit card or bank account. You'll need a cryptocurrency. This was the first hurdle. The marketplace I chose only took Wrapped Ethereum, so I had to convert some of my Bitcoin to, well, I can't convert to Wrapped Ethereum. I had to convert it first to Ethereum, which charged a fee. Converting Ethereum to Wrapped Ethereum is another fee. Then I needed to download a cryptocurrency wallet to store and trade the Wrapped Ethereum, which took scanning QR codes and new passwords. Still with me? Since the station wasn't bankrolling my investment, I needed to search for the cheapest art for sale. Prices are in Ethereum or Wrapped Ethereum. 0.01 Ethereum is roughly $20 in real-world currency. This piece is only about $18. But at checkout, there is a gas fee. This is what it costs to convert the sale on the blockchain, and the price fluctuates. At this moment, that $18 artwork would cost me $154. That's as crazy as this whole idea of NFTs and digital artwork. It took me 4 days just to get to this point, and I'm still not an art collector. And if the station would pitch in, who knows? That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Really felt like he was speaking a different language there for a minute. By the way, the market for digital works of art has soared lately, with some artists earning hundreds of thousands of dollars for their digital paintings.
Well, we are going to be at the bottom of the roller coaster the next couple of days, well below normal temperatures at least through Saturday, but we will climb those temperatures back up into next week. Now look at the 7-day forecast just after the break.
than canoeing or kayaking down the canal, but this kayaker in Spain was looking for something a bit more intense. You can see him kayaking down a snowy mountain before getting to a river. That's when he performed the world's first ever kayak double flip. He was going more than 60 miles an hour down that snowy slope when he did that. Unbelievable. And talk about cold. Again, this was in the snow, Riley, so when he landed in the water, it looks all nice, but that water is probably almost freezing.
Oh, 100%. That is awesome stuff, though. Double front flip in a kayak? What? That's awesome. All right, how about this? Let's take a look at your community calendar. Starting tomorrow at Eudora Farms, you can head out there and do a dino hunt. That's tomorrow through April 11th. Great time out there. We do have some fantastic weather through this weekend. You may just need that jacket. It is a little bit chilly out there for us. Blue skies over downtown Augusta. You can see the canal right there. And it is a nice day, just a little bit on the breezy side and below average as well. Low 60s, not too bad for us, but 18-mile-an-hour sustained wind definitely has been fairly gusty, and that'll make it feel a little bit colder for us than these actual temperatures we're expecting tonight. Remember, we do have freeze warnings in effect for most of the area. Those low temperatures should be getting down close to freezing by early tomorrow morning under clear skies and just a little bit of a breeze hanging around tonight. Throughout the day on Friday, we're expecting abundant sunshine again. Those breezy northwest winds should be less breezy than today, but still elevated enough to where you'll be seeing some leaves blowing around. And high temperatures tomorrow, not looking overly warm. We should stay close to 60 again tomorrow afternoon. But winds don't look as bad for Friday. Heading into the overnight, they'll stay between 8 to 12, and then just kind of 10 to 15 throughout the day on Friday. Winds do look much calmer heading into our Easter weekend. Remember, another first alert for your Saturday morning. Those temperatures could get down to the upper 20s.
All right, Riley, starting next week, Georgia won't have gathering limits or shelter-in-place rules. Social distancing requirements reduced. What does that mean? Next.